So my name's James, I work at Explore and I am the product manager for Korea, and I was lucky enough to come back from our first departure recently in April. Travel's always interesting, but it's especially interesting when you design a tour because so much research and love and work goes into it, so it's really interesting. It's a different angle and it's interesting to see the tour in operation and the country that you've been reading about so much. So what did I love? First of all, the itinerary is a 12-day trip and it's got a real variety to it. I really enjoyed that. It's a really beautiful country to travel around, and we use different modes of transport with a charter bus, a couple of high-speed train routes, and then so all the journeys are interesting. We see the modern, the ancient, a bit of countryside, coast, and the DMZ, as well as the mega city of Seoul. Seoul was one of the highlights, definitely. I loved it. It's really ultra modern. It's got its historic temples and places to see, but it's a real vibrant feel to it, and really honestly it felt like I scratched the surface. I'd happily go back there and see more. It was lively, there's so much to see and do. Really contrasted with the day trip to the DMZ, which was quite poignant, positive in the sense that the Koreans want to come back together, but it's a political issue. But it was a really big jarring contrast that was really interesting with the capital. The locals were super friendly throughout the country. I found them to be really lovely to interact with, and that was definitely a highlight. The food, I was eagerly anticipating the food. You hear a lot about Korean cuisine and it lived up to the expectations. It was really interesting as you went around from region to region to try the different specialties. It's really about regional, fresh, seasonal cuisine, and it's quite a varied diet. You can go super unhealthy with the chicken, for example, deep fried, or generally it is a healthy and really flavoursome diet. On a geeky level, I love going to supermarkets when I travel. I find them really interesting, and Korea was one of those places. And you learn a little bit about the society, I think, and the department store, the top end of department stores have the most amazing food courts and supermarkets within them sort of specialised. The drink, there was an old drink called Macchioli, which is a rice wine that used to be the #1 drink, and it's really gone out of fashion since the 60s, and it's making a resurgence. We did a really fun optional in Busan, where we went up to a village in the countryside and learned how to make it, and we made it with our own feet and hands, and then drank some with a locally prepared meal. That was brilliant. That was a really fun thing to do and interesting. So that was like an unpasteurised version of the rice wine. The countryside I've already alluded to. It was just really pretty. It's really mountainous basically, and it was nice to see the coast as well in Busan, and that contrast of Busan being the second city with the main city of Seoul was interesting. We got out into the countryside for a half-day hike. We went to a temple, learned about temple meditation, martial art, met some local monks on that experience. Learning about the ancient Silla dynasty in Jeonju was fascinating. The power and the wealth and the reach of that empire was really interesting. And then finally, I'd say one of the lesser visited places we went to on the east coast, called Gwangju, on the way back up to Seoul, was really poignant and moving. There was an uprising in 1980 that was brutally put down, and there's a really beautifully presented and put together memorial, peace park, and museum dedicated to those people, and that fought for the independence and the democracy of Korea, which is especially poignant now. So that was an unexpected sort of positive highlight as well, and I'd happily go back. I think there's tons of potential for trekking, cycling trips there, so I fully recommend Korea.